Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're tearing down a really incredible roadmap to financial independence. We're looking at the exact step-by-step method of a creator who literally went from a high school dropout making wooden trash cans for $2 an hour to becoming a millionaire in his 20s. It's a wildly fascinating journey, and we've got the whole thing distilled down into a visual, actionable playbook.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You look at the economy right now, the daily grind, the whole hamster wheel, and you have to ask, is it even still possible to become financially free today? Well, the answer from our source is a massive, resounding yes. But, and this is a big but, you absolutely need the right plan. You don't have to be a slave to a paycheck forever, but you do need a structured way out.
So let's jump right into this playbook. We're going to hit 5 key steps today: finding your freedom figure, hacking your daily expenses, learning the actual truth about credit, building multiple income streams, and finally, making your money multiply.
All right, kicking things off with step 1, finding your freedom figure. This is all about calculating your ultimate financial target. So, what exactly is a freedom figure? Basically, it's the precise amount of money you need to never ever have to stress about a paycheck again. But since everyone's dream life looks a little different, we have to set a baseline. Check out this breakdown. It's based on an aspirational 20-something lifestyle. We're talking a nice city apartment, maybe Miami or London, driving a Porsche 911, taking 3 solid vacations a year, plus your usual bills, food, health insurance, and gym memberships. Add all that up, and you hit a very specific baseline target of $75,245 a year. You should totally write down your own numbers later, but for the sake of our playbook, we're going to use this 75K mark. Okay, so you need roughly 75 grand a year. How much do you actually need sitting in the bank to safely pull that exact amount out forever without going broke? Enter the rule of 25. It's super simple math. You take your yearly lifestyle cost, multiply it by 25, and boom, you've got your total investment target. For our baseline, that means you need exactly $1,881,125. That right there, that is your freedom figure. The whole concept behind this math is perfectly captured by the old golden goose analogy. Think of your main investment pile as the goose, and the returns it generates every year as the golden eggs. As long as you only take the eggs, which is your safe withdrawal rate, and you don't touch the goose itself, it just keeps producing forever. This whole model safely assumes your investments grow at a little over 4% annually, which honestly is super conservative when you consider things like S&P 500 index funds have historically averaged around 12 to 14% over the last decade. Moving on to step 2, hacking your daily expenses. We're going to talk about keeping your current lifestyle while still aggressively cutting costs. Now, I get it. Staring down a $1.9 million target can feel completely overwhelming, but here is how we speed run to that number. And don't worry, no one is going to sit here and lecture you about skipping your morning coffee or eating instant noodles for the next 10 years. Instead, we're looking at 5 strategic hacks to plug those invisible leaks in your wallet. Take car hacking, for instance. Social media has everybody thinking they need a brand new Lambo, but the reality? Most people are drowning in car loans. The average monthly payment for a new car just hit a wild $734. The hack? Buy a solid used car at the bottom of its depreciation curve. You've also got tax hacking and deal hacking, which is literally just never accepting the sticker price. But today, we're going to zero in on 2 absolutely massive ones: brand hacking and house hacking. Let's dive into brand hacking first. Look at this comparison straight from our source. You've got your standard branded cereal. Costs about $4.25 for a 290-gram box. Right next to it is the generic store brand equivalent. It's just $1.66, and you get 500 grams. That is nearly double the food for less than half the price. You're saving $2.56 a box just by ditching the flashy logo. And honestly, most people literally cannot even tell the difference in a blind taste test. Right, I can hear you already. Saving $2 on cereal isn't going to make me a millionaire. And you're right, but it's not about the single box of cereal. It's about the compounding math over time. If you save just $2.56 every single day across different items, that's over $900 a year. Starch that over 5 years, and you've banked $4,672. That is thousands of dollars you're dumping straight into your investments instead of funding some massive corporation's marketing budget. And then there's house hacking. This one is a total game changer for your biggest monthly expense, housing. Instead of traditional renting where you just eat the cost entirely, house hacking lets you live pretty much for free. Our source shares this crazy story about an Airbnb host in London who rents this luxury apartment for $4,000 a month. But by renting that exact same place out on Airbnb for just 10 days out of the month, they covered the entire 4K rent. They literally just crashed with their girlfriend for those 10 days. Whether you buy a duplex and rent out the other half or legally sublet, you can completely zero out your housing costs. All right, step 3, the truth about credit and why completely avoiding credit cards is actually a massive mistake. So, we've all been fed this massive lie growing up, right? The idea that credit cards are purely evil and exist solely to trap you in a mountain of high interest debt. But the wealthy truth? It's the exact opposite. When you use them responsibly, and by that I mean keeping your balance low and paying it off in full every single month, credit cards are an incredible form of leverage. They build your credit score, which is basically your adult financial reputation. When you eventually go to buy a house, a high credit score unlocks way lower mortgage interest rates. We're talking about saving tens of thousands of your hard-earned dollars over the life of a loan. Which brings us to step 4, building multiple income streams. It is time to stop relying on a single paycheck. Think of your income like a stool. If you only have one job, you're sitting on a one-legged stool. The second you get laid off, that stool collapses and you hit the floor. You need multiple legs. Freelancing, affiliate marketing, whatever side hustle works for you. And if your immediate reaction is, I'm way too busy to start a side hustle, let's actually look at the math. There are 168 hours in a week. Even if you work a standard 40-hour job, sleep a full 8 hours every single night, and spend over 20 hours commuting and eating, you still have over 50 hours of free time left every single week. The time is absolutely there. It really just comes down to how you choose to prioritize it. And finally, step 5, making your money multiply. This is that crucial shift from just earning money to actually expanding it. This is honestly the ultimate secret of the rich, understanding the true purpose of money across different mindsets. See, the poor mindset thinks money just exists to pay the bills. The middle-class mindset thinks money is there to build credit so they can take out bigger loans for fancier cars and bigger houses. But the wealthy mindset, they know money is meant for expansion. When wealthy people get a raise, they don't immediately run out and upgrade their lifestyle. Instead, they use that extra cash strictly as a tool to generate even more money while they sleep.
So how do you actually execute that expansion? Well, there are 3 main vehicles we look at here. First up, S&P 500 index funds. This is your base builder. You can use dollar cost averaging to steadily buy in over time, especially now that apps let you buy fractional shares. Next, you could carve out a tiny sliver. Our source recommends capping it at just 5% for crypto. It's high risk, but offers high reward potential. And finally, real estate. Once you've got the capital to jump into rental properties or multifamily homes, this remains the absolute ultimate wealth builder.
All right, so there it is. We've laid out the complete 5-step playbook to finally ditch the hamster wheel. You know how to find your freedom figure, hack your daily expenses, leverage credit, and multiply your wealth. So I'm going to leave you with this one final provocative question. Take a hard look at your schedule. What exactly are you going to do with your 50 hours of free time this week? The roadmap is drawn up right in front of you. The next move is totally up to you.